What's up, everybody? This is another episode of the Reuben Show, and we're just going to keep going here, right? Let's talk Dodger baseball. Let's talk sports, but let's start off with the crazy story that the Dodgers just signed a guy that's never pitched in baseball, but he has like this crazy ERA, this Yamamoto character. He's this highly sought after prospect, and the Dodgers now have Shohei Ohtani, Yamamoto. They've addressed their pitching concerns. I think Ohtani's not going to pitch this year. I think he has to heal this whole year because he had Tommy John surgery. So we won't have him till next year, which is crazy if he's making a whole salary. I don't know if he's going to bat DH. We don't know. I don't know the details of that. But let's talk about this super team, Yamamoto, right? And here it is, right? Here's the angle that nobody's talking about, okay? These super teams can only be created. Now let's go back to the last franchise that was building these super teams. Okay, let's go through some histories. Let's kind of dig into it, right? So the Yankees, when they built their super teams, what is this, in the 90s and 2000s, they had an amazing manager. Ownership, spending all the money, they were signing all these players. The Yankees still do it now, right? But the interesting part of the whole deal is Dave Roberts. If Dave Roberts wasn't with the Dodgers would not have been able to sign the Ohtani, which is the best player in baseball, Yamamoto, which is the best prospect coming over to baseball, right, in Japan. I mean, they had to pay him $50 million. They had to pay his team in Japan $50 million just to get him out of there, right? They signed him for 12 years, $326 million, which is actually a steal because there's players that are making 50, 60, and Ohtani, I think, is making 60-something million, and also their signing bonus baloney. I mean, it's $1 bazillion. It's going to cost $500 to go to a Dodger game. And here it is. I'm going to a Dodger game this year coming up. But, let's say this, okay? Say there was no Dave Roberts. Say there was no 3 consecutive 100-win seasons, and I talked about this in videos. That wasn't part of the Reuben Show at the time because the Reuben Show are 30-minute shows. We have some other short segments, but I've talked about this. Where Dave Roberts is like one of the most winningest coaches. He's very accomplished. Everybody says, yeah, but he only has 1 World Series. Want to bet that in the next 2 years, this year or next year, Dodgers are winning a World Series. You spent literally on 2 players, they were saying it on TV. This is crazy. They were saying that they spent the Oakland A's, which is Las Vegas A's now. That's why they're out of Oakland. They spent their roster's payroll for like 10 years. They spent it on just 2 players for these contracts, right? 10 years and 12 years. You have the Mookie Betts. You have all these other people. You have all these other high dollar people. The Dodgers are going for broke. Now, what does this mean, right? Okay, so here it is, right? So I talked about how Dave Roberts is a big reason why these guys are able to be attracted to the Los Angeles Dodgers. 3 100-win seasons. I mean, the Dodgers have had a bunch of winning seasons. They got a World Series. They're known for being able to just keep spending and spending and spending until they get to where they want to be. And you can't blame them because that's the Los Angeles Dodgers have the highest attendance, the best stadium, right? They have the highest away attendance. They're like the Cowboys in the NFL. They're the most popular team. Right? And I talked about this in a video, and I got to stop saying that, but I talked about this in the video too, where I talked about how to get the most out of the player aura that is Ohtani, and for now, Yamamoto, you want to go to these teams that actually promote the players, right? Where are you going to go, to the Arizona Diamondbacks? Where are you going to go, to the California Angels? The Angels had some of the best players. They had Mike Trout and Ohtani on the same team for a couple of years. And what did they do to him? They wanted him to leave. They didn't market him the right way. So what happened with the Angels and Ohtani is the coaching wasn't there. The marketing aspect of it, the utilizing of this guy's celebrity wasn't being utilized in Anaheim. And you could say that for a lot of teams. So if you were the agent, really, that was the only place that Ohtani would go where you can realize his full potential. Is he going to play past that 10-year contract? I doubt it. He's probably going to retire. He's probably, if they do things the right way and everybody stays healthy for a good 6 or 7 years, you might have a back-to-back World Series team. That's possible. Then Dave Roberts will, without a doubt, go down as the best Dodger FYF, Motors, Sue's Cars, and go. Okay, hey, what's up over there? FYI, BB Motors, what's up? So we're talking about the Dodgers baseball. So we're talking about, Dave Roberts being a big reason why these free agent signees, the fact that the Dodgers, like I said, three times, 3 years in a row, 100-win seasons. That's very hard to do, by the way, or 4 years, whatever it is. And it's like some unprecedented number of 100-win seasons, which means, right? Let me bring this up here. Which means that the Dodgers are always in the mix. Is it true that Ohtani, right, has never had a playoff appearance? Is it true that Dave Roberts has led his Dodgers to 8 consecutive playoff appearances, 10 total, but Dave Roberts wasn't there for the first 2 or something like that, right? Last year, 100 wins. Year before that, 111. Year before that, 106. Year before that, 2020, that was the Roni series. That was 43 World Series. 71% win percentage. Year before that, 106 wins. Right? 105 wins, rather. Right? Technically, if on the shortened season 2020, that would have been 110 wins. So technically, that's really like having five 100-win seasons in a row. So a player like Ohtani says, man, these guys can maximize my potential. They can realize my potential. I shouldn't say maximize it. Realize my potential. And that's what happens, right? You say, well, they're going to spend the biggest bucks, this and that. I don't know that Ohtani. And then Ohtani's lived in California for all these years, or was it 6 years already, right? So it's not that he's unfamiliar, right? And then he goes to a football game, they give him a jersey, they like cheer him on. He gets like bigger cheers. So he's like loved in the city because number one, he stayed locally, right, to where he was playing for the last 6 years. So he already has a fan base. And now his fan base is going to grow even larger. When you have a stadium that's probably going to sell out every year, this reminds me of the Shaq and Kobe days. 100%. And supposedly, Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, had influence in getting Ohtani here to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Go Dodgers. Plain and simple. Super interesting, by the way. Super interesting. What do you guys think about this, right? I thought that was a really good storyline. You have Dave Roberts. Part of the reason why the Dodgers go there is Clayton Kershaw retiring. Is he done? Is he going to be a mid-level reliever? I think he shouldn't go anywhere. I think Clayton Kershaw should sign for less money and stick around and enjoy the good times because he was part of the rough times, right? He was he's probably going to go down as one of the best all-time Dodger pitchers ever. Now, Yamamoto could take that crown, but he's all potential. Nothing has been realized yet. But Clayton Kershaw is legit the real deal MVP pitcher of the whole majors. He should stick around and be part of the whole winning thing and get his World Series win. That's what I think he should do. I don't think he should go anywhere else. It would feel weird to see Clayton Kershaw in another uniform. I respect him if he goes, because that's his choice. But I think that Clayton Kershaw should hang around and be what do they call that? A mid pitcher where they pitch 3 or 4 innings a game, or everything. He should be that guy. That guy's the GOAT. He should stick around. Let the young bucks carry the load. Every now and then come in and get his ring. Put some of that Dodger wisdom that he received into Yamamoto and Ohtani and show them the Dodger way. Just like Oral Hershiser showed Kershaw, just like Oral Hershiser and Valenzuela, just like Sandy Koufax, just like all these players behind him, Kershaw has an opportunity to be that guy. The old man on the block, Mr. Wisdom, Mr. Knowledge, Mr. Experience, been there, done that, has pitched. I mean, when Clayton Kershaw was on fire, oh boy, he's striking everybody out, lighting everybody on fire. It was crazy. You had to watch Kershaw pitch because he was just an aggressive guy. He kind of stunk in the playoffs, but whatever, right? That's old news. But please stick around, Kershaw. Please stick around. You know, I think it'll be something good. I think it'll be something good if he does, if he sticks around, right? Which I 100% think he should. We need to keep Kershaw around. He needs to stick around for at least another 3 years. He can stick around 3 years. 3 years, stick around, become a pitching coach, do something. Stay in the mix, get in the booth, talk, do something. Do not disappear, Kershaw. You're not going to be not wanted by the Dodger fan base and the Dodger organization. Please don't go. He might, though. He might, and that's his choice. Whatever, right? He wants to enjoy his time with his family. But if you want to be part of these World Series rings that should happen, I mean, you're only building the best team in majors. Are we going to predict another 100-win season? Yeah, we should. But Dave Roberts, big part of it, right? So the Yamamoto story and everything, Kershaw needs to stick around. I think he would be a great piece to all this, right? What do you guys think about that, right? And Dave Roberts, they can't get rid of him, not because they don't want to get rid of him, but because he has to be part of the reason why Yamamoto and Ohtani came to the Dodgers, accepted the bazillion dollars. That's not just about the money, folks. I know you think so, but you mean to tell me, so let's be honest. Let's be honest, right? You mean to tell me that if somebody offered Yamamoto $15 million less than the Dodgers, and we're talking that's 5%, but it would have been an infinitely better situation for him, he would have absolutely left. Yeah. These guys want to be comfortable too. These guys want to be happy. These guys want to win. Once you sign this contract for $1 bazillion, it's like Mike Trout. You don't think Mike Trout is wishing that he was with the Dodgers? Mike Trout is never going to win a World Series, or I don't know if he did, but he's just going to be in purgatory the whole time at the Angels. They might go to the playoffs once or twice. They're always going to be in the cellar because I think that owner just doesn't have it in them to just open the bank. I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan. Mike Trout needs to get out of there. My same opinion is the San Diego Padres. They just empty and see. So here it is, right? So all these big signings for the Dodgers. So the first point was Yamamoto, Kershaw stay, be the old wise man, help out, right? Okay, that's part of it, right? You missed it, Wayne. We talked about trucking earlier. I'm gonna post it, but you should check it out, Wayne. But so you had Dave Roberts was definitely a factor. Yamamoto and Ohtani coming to the Dodgers. 300-win seasons in a row, World Series in 2020, 100-win season before that. Every year that Dave Roberts has been there has been in the playoffs. 100% he's a factor. What's going to happen to the perennially great Clayton Kershaw? I hope he sticks around. His contract is up. He might not, right? But I think he should, just so he can be part of this winning thing, right? That's two things. And then to wrap it all up with this, 100% Yamamoto and Ohtani could have went other places and made similar money. If you don't think they couldn't make similar money, you're wrong. They could have 100% got offers for maybe less money, but if they felt that it was a better situation for them, they would have not signed with the Dodgers. That does happen, folks. When you're offered a $700 million contract and it's a $650 million contract, I don't know that that's a big difference in your life. You say, oh yeah, that's $50 million. If you're making $700 million and then the endorsement deals, and then he's probably going to double that in 10 years. Because Ohtani's internationally popular, right? And then the last button on this whole thing is, when are we going to see the game in Japan? Yankees versus Dodgers in Japan, Yamamoto pitching. Oh boy. You need $10 for that game? I'll give you $10 if you can stream it. Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see that. Yankees and Dodgers in Japan at their biggest stadium. Yeah, let's see that. That's must-see TV. Yeah, All-Star game, right before the All-Star game. Show me that game. Why don't they have the All-Star game in Japan? How about that? How about that, boys and girls? I threw it out there. You heard it here first on the Reuben Show. If other people start talking about it, some no. We heard it first on the Reuben Show. Tell on them to me. Tell me that happened. Okay. So, anyways, so there's that, right? That was very interesting of a story. There's a ton of storylines there, right? And so I thought that was something that was worth talking about. And I haven't really heard anybody talk about this. And so I was looking, I was like, what is this? What do I bring to the table additionally about this story? Because if I'm just going to regurgitate what they're talking about, it's going to be kind of boring. If we're being honest, nobody's talking about the Dave Roberts effect, about where's Clayton Kershaw going to go. They'll probably think about it later, but I thought about these three angles so that we can have something interesting to talk about. Anyways, enough about that, right? Now let's talk about the Los Angeles Rams. Now, the Los Angeles Rams are in this crazy position right now. Okay. They have their quarterback staffer that they sign, multi-year contract. It's not crazy money, but he's very capable. If they make the playoffs, now they won yesterday. If they make the playoffs, which supposedly because of this victory, they have a 74% chance of making it to the playoffs now, right? The loser, it goes all the way down to 24%, whatever it was. Whatever that stat was interesting, right? So the question is this. The Rams might be the only playoff team that have two quality receivers, right? You have the Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb. Who else? I mean, it falls off dramatically. I looked it up. You have the Eagles, A.J. Brown falls off, right? I don't even know who the 49ers have a guy, but then they have Christian McCaffrey, who's kind of like a receiver. So he's kind of like, he kind of fits the bill because Christian McCaffrey he's like 2,000 all-purpose yards. He's pretty good, right? So he might be a factor, but two legit receivers in this potential rookie of the year that has like 1,300 yards receiving. He's like top 5 or top 10 in all the categories of receiving as a rookie. BYU, right? Shout out to BYU. And then you have Cooper Kupp, which almost broke the receiving yardage record last year, and he's recovering from an injury, and he seems to be coming into his own. And then you have Williams, their running back, who is another potential rookie of the year candidate. He's a 1,000-yard rusher. There's only two. Hold on, let me get this right here. But I want to say there's only 2,000-yard rushers right now, and he's one of them. Yeah, Kyron Williams. No, he's not a rookie. This is his second year. He's not a rookie, but last year he didn't play that very much. Christian McCaffrey, 1,300 yards roughly. He has 1,057, right? So you have these three positions that you have young people in there, or four, the quarterback, two receivers, and a running back. Now you can spend some money to help Aaron Donald on the defensive line. Now you can spend some money and maybe trade for a Trent Williams type offensive lineman, right? An anchor, a foundational offensive lineman, maybe two of them. Now you can spend some money, and now you might have a Super Bowl level team. Higbee, very capable tight end, young too. The Rams have a young team. And if they make it into the playoffs, how deep could they go? It's hard to say because all these young players, they're inexperienced, but they do have youth on their side. And youth in the world of football, if you think about it, in the NFL, youthfulness means you don't get as tired, which means this 17-game season, plus 3 games in the preseason, this 20-game season, they've almost been playing for 6 months already. Then you have 1, 2, or 3 games in the playoffs. That's not a young man's game. That's not a young man's thing. That's important that you have the stamina, the willpower, the energy. The inexperience is the coach's job to get you through that. But you have something that only Father Time takes away little by little by little. So that's interesting take on that, right? A very young team. You have some young guys that are really stepping up, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. Are they going to make the playoffs? They're 8-7 right now. They have 2 games left, right? They basically knocked out, you missed it, Fat Panda. I talked about Vivek and how I I taught, and I'm gonna post that video. I post about real quick, and I'm gonna veer off here in sports, but let me just say this. I talked about how I didn't like the fact that Vivek didn't let his son ride in the truck on the ride to the town hall meeting. You mean to tell me that you didn't trust? You mean to tell me that you didn't trust him for Vivek's son to ride in the truck? You're off base on that. That means you don't trust. That means watch the video. I'm gonna post it. I just shot it. It was 30 minutes long. We're talking about sports. I veered off because I saw you try. What's up, Trucker Katie? How you doing? I talked about trucker stuff too. I'll post that video. But anyways, let's get back to sports here. Um, so Kyron Williams is the running back. They're all young players. So the Rams have a big opportunity here. If they spend some money next year, they can get a really good squad together, and it's gonna be on the cheap. It's gonna be on the cheap. And so that's how you build a Super Bowl team. Is if you have a lot of young players that panned out to be good, a la Tom Brady, right? That's what happened to him, right? They got him on the cheap for 20 years. They were able to, because he was only making $10 million a year, and he got way more money. He never got paid above market average, and for his caliber of player, he was a top player and then a quarterback in the NFL for many years, and he wasn't the top paid quarterback. But anyways, so that's what you have in Los Angeles. You have their receiving core is quality. Their offensive line is a little bit suspect. They were saying that their offensive line has a lot of shifts, a lot of changes in their offensive line rotation has like 14 different lineups, and so that's like the most in the NFL. So that was it with that, right? So that was kind of weird. And so anyways, so there's that, right? And so to speak on that, the Rams have a chance. But they got to make it. Oh, what's going on, Elisa? They have to make it into the playoffs. Can they make it? I don't know. The next game, let's see who they play next here. Let's see here. Los Angeles Rams. The next team they play is the Giants. They should get that victory. And if the 49ers clinch the playoffs, which I think they did, the 49ers should be sitting a lot of people. So the Rams have a chance to squeak in. Right? The Rams have a really good chance. We got to put the watch out on that, right? And so anyways, so let's end today's show, right? We talked about Dodgers and that whole fiasco. Then we talked about the promising situation for the Los Angeles Rams. Now let's talk about this promising situation for temporary Las Vegas coach Antonio Pierce. Here's some updated information, right? Let me give you some updated scuttlebutt or news or chisme, as you would say in Spanish, the chisme, right? Let's give you some chisme here, right? So Antonio Pierce, temporary head coach of Las Vegas Raiders, who kind of in my head personifies the Raiders. Yeah, I changed my voice right there. The Raiders, right? So he personifies silver and black to me. This is me, okay? This is just my opinion of it. I could be wrong, right? But he gives me that dirty, he gives me that like this guy's going to eat a 2-day-old pizza, no microwave. This guy makes me think that, maybe he doesn't take a shower every day. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know the guy, right? But anyways, he has connections to Marvin Lewis, who is looking to do a move, who could potentially go with Antonio Pierce to be his assistant coach. And to me, that would be giant. Marvin Lewis was a head coach for like 16 years, Super Bowl champion, blah, 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 blah. Let's go over all of it, right? He's connected to Ontario. They were friends. They were coaches together somewhere in, at Tam's Burgers Football League. I don't know what it is, but there's a connection there. I saw the story. There was a connection there. So I go, okay, so are we doing the Kevin Bacon 6 degrees of separation? We're saying since Antonio Pierce, temporary head coach, interim head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, right? Is he gonna get a leg up? Or is Marvin Lewis going to be the head coach and Antonio Pierce is going to be the assistant coach, which he's going to get his opportunity to shine again? Or is he going to be all butthurt and start with, they skip me over. They don't like me. Is he going to just run and tell me I want to go somewhere else? No, he should stick around. So I think if Antonio Pierce gets the opportunity to be the head coach and could hire Marvin Lewis as his assistant coach and bring and them go together, I think that's a good combination. If the Raiders interview Marvin Lewis and hire him as the head coach and he keeps Antonio Pierce around as a head coach, Antonio Pierce, that's a win-win for him on both angles because number one, he learns from a guy. And let's look at Marvin Lewis. And if you don't know who Marvin Lewis is, you don't know football. He's a legit head coach. Hold on. I want to say that he coached Marvin Lewis. Where you at, Marvin Lewis? Yeah, Marvin Lewis. Did he coach? Oh, yeah, he was a coach for the Bengals. Yeah, they had some good teams. 10-6. Look at this is his. He had a streak in 2012. 10-6, 11-5, 10-6, 12-4. Not bad, right? Not bad. He got some good winning seasons. He's the coach of Chad Ochocinco. Ugh, right? You got to deal with that crazy dude. Chad Ochocinco, right? Chad Johnson. Mr. Get Fined 17 times, right? So Marvin Lewis is a very capable coach. Very capable coach. He was the head coach of the Bengals from 2003 when they super stunk. Right? Look, and he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of the 16 years, 10 of the years he had winning records. So, he's average, but he's still a very good coach. Coached a lot of good players. If he comes along and he is brought into the fold with Antonio Pierce, the interim head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, I think it'll be a win-win for him, and he needs to stick around. I don't know if it's a good idea. I think he should consider sticking on, even if he doesn't get the head coaching job. He should stick around just so he can get some of that good juju, get some of that knowledge, get some of that learning experience. I think it's something there. I think there's something there. Will he do it? We don't know. What are we at here? 25, 26, 27 minutes. Jeez, see, there you go. We did 2 shows already. I don't know if we're going to do another one. We might do another one because we got to put this stuff in the Ed and Bay and post this stuff. But anyways, that was an interesting story. I think there's something to that. I don't know, but that's an update to it. This is not, I'm not regurgitating the same thing, but I think that connection that they should help. What do you guys think, right? What do you guys think? You think there's something there, right? You think the Dodgers are going to win a World Series next year? I almost guarantee in the next 2 years, there's got to be one World Series ring. Provided somebody doesn't get catastrophically hurt and Clayton Kershaw needs to stick around. Be like a mid-level reliever. Like, come on, Clayton. Don't retire, dude. Come get that easy money. $5 million, $10 million a year. Hang around for another 2-3 years. Get another World Series ring. Now you got 2, right? Dave Roberts, coach of the Dodgers, current manager of the Dodgers. He was a big factor, And, I think there's some interesting storylines there. But anyways, I'm going to tap out. We're going to end it here. I thought these were 3 current event stories. And the Rams have all these young bucks that are producing. They have a golden opportunity, a golden window to shower some of those wins. If you understand what I just did there, put it in the comments if you stuck around this long. That's the Easter egg. We left another Easter egg. I had one in another video, but we left another Easter egg. Tell me what that means. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. If you do, your hair will grow back. If you like and subscribe and comment, the gray hair will go away. Maybe not. Maybe. Talk to you later. Bye.